evening, folks. I'm going to call to order the Town of Wilmington Board of Appeals meeting for February 19th, 2020. It is exactly 7 o'clock. The first case on the docket is a requested continuance, case 120, BIV 613 Main Street LLC, map 29, parcel 11S, strike that. They're through counsel in a letter that was provided to the board on February 14th. They are requesting that their case be continued until our next meeting, which is scheduled for March 18th. It's going to be that's going to be the day in March rather than the first, than our usual meeting in March. So they're requesting that they be continued until March 18th at the 2020 meeting. Do I have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
We have a motion to allow the continuance. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All those in favor? Unanimous. That matter is continued to our next meeting. All right, and then the next case on the agenda is case 320, Rory and Elizabeth Desmond, map 78, parcel 29B, 30 North Street. They are requesting a special permit under 6.1.6.4 to extend a non-conforming structure. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Robert Buckley, Raymond Bronstein. I have to my right Rory Desmond, the property owner at 30 North Street. We're here this evening. The Desmonds have a ranch structure on 30 North Street. What they'd like to do is add a second floor and a porch out front and stay in the neighborhood. They consider their other options, and they really like the neighborhood. Their family has expanded, and they made the decision to seek the special permit to increase the livability of their house with their expanding family. As you know, under your section 6.1.6.4, the board has the authority, if you have an existing nonconformity, to allow the extension of that if you make a finding that is no more detrimental to the neighborhood. There is an existing nonconformity today on the site in the sense that the front yard setback is currently 39.4 feet, and 40 feet is required in this district, which is the RO district. When the improvements are made, this will be increased by 4.3 feet to 35.3 feet, which is the result of the addition of the porch out front, which is an architectural design element that the property owners feel enhances the neighborhood, and it enhances the street appeal of the house, and does provide a nice amenity for the neighborhood, for themselves. That is consistent. If you look at, I assume in the application you have a copy of the site plan. Most of the properties along North Street are less than the required 40 feet, with the exception of the one at 28, which is 45. So in terms of consistency with the neighborhood, even adding the porch, increasing the nonconformity, is not detrimental, in our opinion, to the neighborhood. And would like your consideration of the special permit to permit the Desmonds to stay and prosper in the neighborhood.
Okay, before I open it up to the board and the gallery, I'll just read into the record that at their planning board meeting of February 4th, 2020, the planning board voted to recommend unanimously approval of the application. The proposed second-story addition and porch do not appear to be more detrimental to the neighborhood.
Thank you.
That was their recommendation. So now I'll open it up to the board for any questions of the applicant or comments. It appears fairly straightforward to me anyway, but
If it wasn't for the porch, they wouldn't even come, right?
that's my reading of it, correct?
Because if it's just a second floor, they'd be able to do it.
Correct. Well, there's a question of whether they're up.
What's the reason for the second floor again?
Additional bedroom space. When they moved into the house, they have, what, 2 children?
2 children, and we have 3 now. And we're blowing up basically the bedrooms downstairs, opening that up, putting bedrooms upstairs.
And a number of the houses on the street have 2 levels also. There are some, there are some ranches, but most of the houses are now 2 floors.
Mr. Chairman, I have no problem with this. That North Street I'm very familiar with, and all those houses are less than 40 feet setback, and I don't see this being any encroachment anywhere within the street or the neighbors, so I'm all right with it.
Anybody else have any questions before I open it up to the gallery? We'll be coming back to the board. Okay, I'm gonna open up the public hearing on this matter. If anybody here wishes to weigh in on this or ask any questions, if you could just please rise and give us your name and address and have at it. Okay, going once, going twice. Okay, I'm gonna close the public hearing. We'll bring it back to the board for any further deliberation or a motion.
I'll make a motion to grant the special permit for case 320 for the extension of a non-conforming structure, because it is no more detrimental to the neighborhood.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second on that?
I'll second.
We have a motion seconded. All the,
But wait, can we add possibly to your amendment saying that, as the plans submitted?
Sure.
So as these plans submitted?
yeah, rather than making an amendment to his
Or
motion,
second.
would you like to add that to your motion?
Sure.
That's already been seconded.
As submitted.
Does your second stand?
Yes.
Okay, all those in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you for your
folks,
time
good
and
luck.
consideration. Thank you.
One question, when you say that, you just mean we're not, so as long as we're not adding more to the footprint? then yes.
Right, so you have to look at these
They'll-
plans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Got it.
Have a good.
Okay, the next and final matter on the regularly scheduled docket is case 420, Francis Downs Jr., 70 West Street, map 73, parcel 4. He's requesting a special permit, likewise under 6.1.6.4, to extend a non-conforming structure. Come on, sir, step right up and let us know who you are and what you're looking for.
Frank Downs, trying to turn my great-grandfather's 900 square foot home into something worth keeping.
Take a seat, take a seat.
It's non-conforming, obviously going the cheap way here, I don't have a lawyer with me.
Okay, and the nonconformity is what? Which setback? It's the rear?
The rear 2 corners.
It's the rear
Rear two
court,
corner
yeah.
setback, gotcha.
One of them is right close to my property, and the other one, it's all the way it's been forever. It was originally my great-grandfather's property, and it's something that's gone down, and I'm hoping to hold on to it, and
All right, I will further, as I did in the last case, read into the record the recommendation of the planning board at their meeting of February 4th, 2020. Upon a motion duly made and seconded, they unanimously recommended approval of this application, indicating that the proposed conversion of the second story and addition of dormers do not appear to be more detrimental to the neighborhood. So they're recommending approval as well. Any questions or comments from the board?
I got a comment. So in the back, you have this, there's the stairs that makes it literally steps to the boundary. Is there a way of like, switching the direction?
the stairs should come out the door and turn to the left.
Yes, that's the rear.
Can you have them go the other way?
In towards the backyard?
No, go,
No.
like,
Off
go,
the way they go right now.
Right, towards,
Yeah, towards the house. That would make them,
so it's,
that's kind of the main way into the house.
Can you just so we have a clear record, sir, can you guys introduce yourselves?
Hi, yes,
Oh, I'm
I'm Stephen Downs, I'm Frank's son.
Okay, and what's your name, sir?
Derek
my
Downs.
general contractor is my son Derek.
Okay, Derek and Steve.
Derek and Stephen.
All right, guys, welcome. I just
My
want to
wife
get you.
Pamela is the brains of the
Yep,
operation.
yep, I just want, anybody who
Okay, yep.
addresses, I just want to get their record, name for the record, that's all.
We could do that, but it's kind of gonna be asked backwards.
Are the stairs existing?
The stairs are
Stairs
existing
are
right
existing.
now. And we were planning on moving or changing those.
Okay.
I remember when I was a kid and they built the stairs, and they had to turn them to the left because my father's, I own that property over there. My father's property was, they turned the stairs already. Instead of going this way towards the fences, they turned them to the left so you went down to the driveway.
Instead of going straight
They
out.
head down towards it.
So
They
you-
used to come straight out towards.
So you own the property that's adjacent to the
Right.
area we're talking about?
Right.
And you don't have a problem with the way
No.
it is? Okay.
It's been this way all my life, the way it is right now.
And the rear stairs are already coming down parallel to the back of the house, so they're not going straight off the back of the house. They're
Right,
going,
yeah, I wasn't thinking like straight out, I was thinking just go, flip it the opposite way instead of right, go left.
oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Doesn't seem like it would
But
give
if
you
they're
that
already
much more.
there,
you know?
well, yeah,
Maybe it would. But
And the driveway is on that side, so you go down that way, then you'd be walking towards that property to get back to the driveway as well.
oh, yeah.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, again, I find no problem with this. I mean, if you look at the existing property that's there now, and what they want to do, according to what they're showing us, I would say it's 100% improvement.
I agree with you.
yeah, we're bringing it up to the level of the rest of the neighborhood rather than
Yeah,
going
it's 100%.
past them, right, you know?
So I'm very well on board on this one.
Jackie, what's your advantage in your mind
No,
about
I was
flipping the
just,
stairs?
I was just thinking it would be maybe a little bit less, like not 4 feet, it would be like less,
Well,
close.
don't forget, they're existing.
Yeah, and then they're existing, so.
And I own that back there. So it's,
That's the only thing.
Anybody, you know what, I'll open up the public hearing. Anybody here wishing to be heard on this? Going once, going twice? Okay, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Anyone here have anyone on the board have any additional questions, comments, or care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the case 4-20, map 73, parcel 4, to acquire special permit under 6164 to extend the non-conforming structure.
It
Uh,
being not
As-
more
as stated.
detrimental to the neighborhood.
Correct.
Okay, do we have a,
And I'm sorry, and would you also mention that per the plan submitted?
Yeah, that's what I said, as per.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, it was a tie. Yeah, okay, ladies first, then Jackie can have, it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous, recommend
certainly
approval.
appreciate that.
All right, good luck, folks, have a great night. That concludes the matters on the regular docket for regular business. We do have 2 administrative matters to address. We have minutes from December 11th, 2019, as well as January 15th, 2020, to review and approve. I trust the board members have all been provided with these minutes, have had a chance to look at
Yeah.
them?
Okay.
Yes? Okay, so I'm gonna take the first one, why don't we do them separately? Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of December 11th, 2019?
So moved?
I'll second.
We have a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, approved. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of January 15th, 2020?
So moved?
Again, so moved.
Second.
Again, seconded. All those in favor? Unanimous, those minutes are approved. Okay, that concludes the business on the agenda. Our next meeting will be
March 18th.
March 18th, the day after St. Patrick's Day. And that will be, our regular meeting will not go forward on that date. In other words, our regular meeting was scheduled for
the 11th.
the 11th. That's
That's
off.
canceled, correct.
So our next meeting will be on the 18th. There will be no meeting on the 11th.
Correct.
Okay, just to make it clear for
Have we
everybody.
also rescheduled the April one?
April.
Oh, yeah, because you.
Because
told
I
them.
won't be here for the April meeting.
Okay,
I
what do
think-
you wanna do? Push it a week?
We could push it a week, but I won't be here on the 8th.
Okay, so we'll push it.
All right,
a
let me
week.
just see
Oh,
here.
We may,
Tax day?
we may have already done that, but I just,
I think we were waiting on that.
All right, so our
we'll-
next, our meeting in April is currently scheduled for Wednesday, the 8th. A member indicates he's not going to be present and is requesting to put it off until the 15th, which is tax day, April 15th. Is there anybody that has any problem with that?
No.
Okay, so why don't we just do that? I don't believe it requires a vote, but I do get a consensus of the board. And so, Ms. Malatesta, why don't you just make a note when you do your notices, that we are going to have our April meeting on the 15th,
Okay, will do.
okay? And I think that's it. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a second on that. We have a second on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
There you go. Good night.